Up with KREM begins now.
Good morning. Welcome to Up with KREM. It is 6 a.m. now. I'm Nicole Hernandez. It's Monday morning. We're starting off a new work week, so we got to get right to our meteorologist, Thomas Patrick. Thomas, we're starting this week with the weather impact alert. What's going on?
Yeah, so we had this big seasonal shift yesterday. Obviously, it just rained all day. It was much colder than it had been from this past week. Today just continues today. The impact here is that the winds get much stronger, especially during the midday and afternoon hours. So from about 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., we'll have wind gusts at around 30 to 40 miles per hour. And it will be a fairly cold wind as well, just locking in that colder weather overall. Now, the rain is actually fading as of this morning. There's still just a few light showers over the central and southern portions of the state. Actually, I haven't seen much rain over Spokane in the last couple hours. So look for skies to clear, but the winds to increase today.
Now we're taking a live look at traffic now at I-90 and Broadway. 6:01 now, and you can see not much in terms of traffic on our roads. The roads are a bit wet this morning from some of that lingering rain that Thomas mentioned. But as for actual congestion, if you're heading out the door this morning, don't expect any sort of backup quite yet. A man convicted of 2 murders and sentenced to life in prison is back in court for a resentencing today. 15 years ago, Justin Crenshaw was convicted of killing Sarah Clark and Tanner Pell in 2008. Prosecutors say Crenshaw stabbed his friends multiple times with a sword and then set Pell's house on fire to hide his crime. Crenshaw was sentenced to life without parole. But then in 2021, Washington State Supreme Court ruled mandatory life sentences for offenders younger than 21 are unconstitutional. They say that's because they're still developing mentally. Crenshaw was only 20 years old at the time of the killing. His resentencing will be over the next 3 days now. Well, the first of the 20 remaining living hostages who Hamas took 2 years ago are making their way home today. President Trump is in Israel this morning to meet with the families and address the country's parliament. CBS News' Bradley Blackburn has more.
This is the first glimpse of freedom for the remaining Israeli hostages, released after enduring 2 long years in captivity.
We see Elkanah in video FaceTime.
In a place that has been dubbed Hostage Square in Tel Aviv, jubilant crowds came together to celebrate. President Donald Trump declared the war over before landing in Israel on day 4 of the ceasefire, there to meet with the families and to address the country's parliament.
Today the skies are calm, the guns are silent, the sirens are still, and the sun rises on a holy land that is finally at peace.
The president will later chair a summit in Egypt with other world leaders to discuss next steps, including the creation of a multinational peacekeeping force in the region. After the Israeli hostage release Monday morning, hundreds of Palestinian prisoners were also released as part of the swap. Since the fighting stopped last Friday, thousands have returned to northern Gaza to find their homes in ruins. Amal Abu Rabia's entire neighborhood was flattened. She says, "I never imagined this level of destruction. There is nothing left." Dozens of trucks carrying humanitarian aid surged into Gaza Sunday, with hundreds more expected in the coming days. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
A Qatari Air Force facility will soon be coming to Idaho. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth made that announcement on Friday. The facility will be at the Mountain Home Air Force Base just south of Boise. It will host a contingent of Qatari F-15 fighter jets and pilots. We reached out to Idaho lawmakers for comment. Senator Mike Crapo sent us this response. He said, quote, "As I await further details about the agreement, I will continue working with Air Force and Mountain Home Base leadership to ensure they have the support necessary to fulfill goals of global military readiness that keep Idahoans and Americans safe and protect our long-term national security interests," end quote. Well, over the weekend, President Trump threatened a 100% tariff on goods from China starting November 1st or sooner. That would be on top of the 30% tariffs already in effect. China responded by imposing new port fees on U.S. ships. President Trump is set to meet with Chinese leaders later this month. Well, a deputy with the Kootenai County Sheriff's Office died in a UTV crash near Robinson Creek this weekend. The Clearwater County Sheriff's Office says they got a report around 2 a.m. on Friday about a person who had not returned home. A A search team and local hunters then found the UTV and the deputy. He was Deputy Dale Law. Kootenai County Sheriff Bob Norris shared a statement. He said Dale Caleb Law had served the county for 18 years. He was ready to help anybody at any time. He also said, quote, he is missed by his sheriff's office family already. Our hearts are with his wife and children during this difficult time. Washington Governor Bob Ferguson ordered flags to be half-staffed to honor Colleen Bass, the woman who was killed at Eastern State Hospital. Bass worked as a security guard for the hospital. The flags will stay half-staffed until Wednesday the 15th, the same day as her memorial service. And a man died Sunday morning after somebody allegedly walked up to his car and started shooting at him. Spokane police say this happened on South McClellan Street near Providence. When they got there, they found the man dead. SPD says the shooter ran away and they do not know who that person is yet. This is still an active investigation, so they're asking anybody with information to call Crime Check. Washington State agreed to change a recently passed law which forced clergy members to report abuse that they learned about through confession. The state attorney general's office announced that it will not enforce that part of the law anymore. A court order had already temporarily blocked the law, saying it could infringe on religious freedom. Quick heads up to drivers. The city of Spokane is starting several construction projects this week. Starting today, 9 Mile Road and Highway 291 will be down to 1 lane. Crews are installing a new water transmission main to increase the Northwest Terrace water pressure system. Rifle Club Road will also be closed for this. The construction starts at 8 o'clock tonight and then should finish up by about 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Also today, the City of Spokane Street Department is starting a maintenance project on Qualchin Drive between Cheney Spokane Road and Highway 195. They will be closing lanes and even the whole road for a short time. Downtown Spokane wants help with this year's Fall Clean Week. KREM 2's Brandon T. Jones is live this morning. So Brandon, what's on the schedule for today?
Good morning, Nicole. Well, we've got a couple of volunteer opportunities this week, starting with today. Monday is Sidewalk Day, so you're going to see a group of volunteers out and about with some brooms in their hands, doing some work to clean the sidewalks of downtown Spokane. That's going to be a trend again. You'll see those volunteers throughout the week. Tomorrow it's going to be centered on Graffiti Day, so you'll have an opportunity to sign up for that as well. They're going to be scrubbing some of the graffiti out and doing their best to get as much of that cleaned away. Wednesday's goal is to refresh city alleys and underpass locations. Thursday is focused on city parks, green spaces throughout the city, and the Downtown Spokane Partnership says this week is celebrating civic pride while preparing downtown for a busy fall season. So volunteers will meet daily at 11 a.m. Again, if you are interested in volunteering at any point throughout this week, you can do so by visiting downtownspokane.org and signing up. For now, reporting live here in Spokane, Brandon T. Jones, KREM 2 News.
Thanks, Brandon. It certainly is a chilly morning after temperatures dropped a lot yesterday. We're down into the 30s as of right now. It's 38 in Spokane, 36 in Coeur d'Alene, and the northeasterly winds today will keep those temperatures plenty cold all day long. A second straight day of highs only in the 40s, with the winds quite a bit stronger today. Less rain, but more wind will be the forecast update on this Monday. Now, it's not to say there won't be any rain. In fact, there still is some light rainfall around Moses Lake, Ritzville and Lind, and up towards Grand Coulee, but the skies have actually cleared out a little bit over Spokane. So the rain fading today, but the winds will be increasing.